Welcome, dear Sangha, to our Jewel Ornament of Liberation series with the Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We'll begin in the Yellow Gurchen Buddhist Institute prayer book, page 4 and page 5, with opening prayers. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Kajo lama namje da jong je da nan de ne zera damje de lama la pa la ye je zo zon la zang yong den jam zo nga la wang den de don jen de be ge le zo da zo lo ju zon ro wa zhen je la de zo ju lam den ro wa zhen je la de zo lan ro wa se wa zhen je la de Chova yi shi san ja vara sin ja lab de zo gang ge den jen de wen jong ga pa me ba je ba me ba ta me ba wa me ba ro me ba ta de du me dong je me zhu ba ni je je den ba zo ba san je ma na je dang ba de la jiang za de zhen je za ba la ma je je ku zong do je sen lan da da ge ju lan pe de Dage demba dan sun je je don la po jen zhe bar zhen je la de zo. Many touch dele, dear Dhamma brothers and sisters. Precious Garland says, through forgiving the Dharma to those who listen, you eliminate their obscurations, and by being a companion of the Buddhas, you will swiftly attain what is longed for. So there are many ways of generosity, practice generosity. The Dharma generosity is excellent because it benefit for this life, and it benefit for other life. So Dharma practice greatly benefit us because we are we are with our thoughts. So then thoughts are like ocean's waves. It continues move. So when we have thoughts, then sometimes we arise good thoughts. That's good. But sometimes we get arise negative thoughts, and at that time, then we have many facing problems. So during this Dharma practice, Dharma means actually methods. So method, it's how to remove the obstacles, and it is a method of how to promote happy mind and a good life, and then also it's a special method to how to attain Buddhahood. So we say we have a Buddha nature. If you don't know clearly about your nature, Buddha nature, but you have mind. So you know you have mind. So if you have mind, then which means you have a Buddha nature. So the water, it is like a water. So before we make pure it, it's quite hard to drink because it's not clean water and so forth. Likewise, before we practice Dharma, our mind is not pure and clear. But then if we make clean that water, and then we can drink this water, and it helps our health. Similarly, we practice Dharma through the method of this Dharma, then our mind becomes, our minds become pure and clear. So then our mind becomes compassionate. Our minds become compassionate and loving kindness, and then step by step it become pure and clear, and then eventually our mind transform into the Buddha. So our minds transform into the Buddha means actually right now our mind are covered by some obscurations. So then through our practice, then it will become clear and clear, and it will become pure. It's like we learn the languages and so forth. So first I did not know English language, but I learned from my English teachers, and then day by day I know new words or how to make sentences. Still not good, but today I'm a little nervous because my youngest English teacher is here, so I don't know how to speak correctly. But no worries, because after class, after teach this morning, then I will learn more from my youngest teacher. Yeah, Are you ready? Oh, good. So then actually we are on the chapter of I think chapter 9. So it's a proper adoption of bodhicitta. Then it has many these classifications, definitions, and so forth. Some we already discussed. And then today, classified in terms of what demarked levels. Bodhicitta is fourfold. Number one, bodhicitta endowed with aspiration. Number two, bodhicitta endowed with extraordinary intention. Third, bodhicitta in its full maturity. And number four, bodhicitta with obscurations eliminated. The first of the above corresponds to the levels of practice motivated by aspiration. So bodhicitta is mind. Actually, in the philosophicals, the philosophy text, they explain more about bodhicitta as mind or mentality. There are lots of explanations. If bodhicitta is however, bodhicitta is mind or mentality. Then bodhicitta is actually perhaps we often say practice bodhicitta, so seems it's easy to practice on bodhicitta, but it's not so easy in other ways. In other hand, because before we get a rise, bodhicitta, we need compassion. Compassion is a foundation of bodhicitta, because we say we should love all mother sentient beings. So it's quite difficult to love all mother sentient beings perfectly. I mean, perfectly love all mother sentient beings is not easy. So before we generate bodhicitta, if we generate compassion, then bodhicitta spontaneously arise. Because we see those mother sentient beings are suffering different with different reasons, or some has some are hungry, some are thirsty, some are then have other problems like weather problems, and then inside internally they have many problems with the afflictive emotions like attachment and aversion, jealousy, self-pride, and so forth. So we generate compassion to all mother sentient beings, and then we can cultivate bodhicitta in pretty easily. We can cultivate bodhicitta. So that's where the compassion is very important. Then the second applies to the first 7 great bodhisattva levels. So actually, first, the bodhicitta, the bodhicitta endowed with aspiration means actually when we practice bodhicitta, at that time we cultivate, we accumulate merits. So merit is very important. In this life, if we are going to accomplish accomplish successfully something, then it is related our merit. So how to gain or how to accumulate merit? There are many ways to cultivate merit. So merit is power of virtues, and then how to cultivate merit is we recite mantras or circumambulate to the stupa and the temple and so on, and also then we recite the prayer books, and we practice other like a meditation or then a meditation, and then listen, reflect, and listening Dharma and reflect on Dharma, of course meditate on Dharma and so forth. Then also we say health, good health. So good health is also related merit. Of course, is related food. Definitely, it's related food and related the healthy food and good environment. These are very important. At the same time, marriage is very important. Then when we become Bodhisattva, before we become Buddha, first we should become Bodhisattva. Yeah. So if we have a great merit, when we become Bodhisattva, then we can greatly benefit to other beings. So these Bodhisattvas need merit, and then Buddhas also need merit. Buddhas need merit means Buddhas have merit, because after become Buddha, then it does not mean stop to benefit others. Yeah, benefit others through Dharmakaya, through Sambhogakaya, and through Nirmanakaya, and so forth. That's where all of these three kayas, or sometimes we say four kayas, sometimes we say five kayas, they all appear radiate from the power of merit. Then the third to the eighth through the 10th levels, and the fourth to the level of the Buddhahood. So we recently we talked many classifications about Bodhicitta. So then Bodhisattvas who are on the first bhumi, they have Bodhicitta like this, and who are seventh bhumi, they have their Bodhicitta is like that. Who attain the 10th level of bhumi, then they have Bodhicitta like that. So it's mentioned about these things. But this part is actually in the future you can learn more, but now just you heard about these things, it's okay. And then thus the ornament of Mahayana Sutaras, Bodhicitta on the various levels is held to the accompanied by aspiration, pure extraordinary intention, fully maturity, and the elimination of all obscurations. So Bodhicitta and Buddha nature are actually same. But the way of explain Bodhicitta is a quality of Buddha nature. So that's where when we generate Bodhicitta, then we purify our obscuration. So, do you know obscuration? Obscuration is a very big obstacle because obscuration covers our Buddha nature. That's why then when we have obscuration on our Buddha nature, then all the problems come there, and all the obstacles occur there because of the obscuration. But when we generate bodhicitta, at that moment, we forgot self-grasping, which means self-cherishing. So then there is no place to calm the obstacles. So at that moment, our mind is become, when we generate bodhicitta, at that moment, our mind becomes like a very, very hot stone. So if our mind is like a hot stone, and then if there falls some snowflakes, immediately melt. Immediately it melt. It will not frozen there. Similarly, when we generate bodhicitta, or we get arise bodhicitta, at that time all these obstacles comes there, but it disappear there, which means when we have angry emotion, when we have other afflictive emotions, then other obstacles comes there, and then our afflictive emotions support to those obstacles. That's where then we make mistakes, and others harmful actions also harm to us. So everything happened like that through these afflictive emotions and obscurations. They are friends. Afflictive emotions and obscurations are friends. They support each others. And bodhicitta and these obstacles are opposite. So bodhicitta is a hot stone, is like a hot stone, and then other these obstacles are like a snow flakes, and then they all melt there. So it's very important. Right now we say we have enemies. So yeah, if we don't analyze it, or we don't generate bodhicitta, definitely we have enemies. Even somebody using a single harsh word, then that person is our enemy because we are hatred. We don't like this that person. Yeah. So that means we can say that we have enemies or enemy. But when we generate bodhicitta, we don't have enemy. It depends. Number one, if your bodhicitta level is little lower level, then you cannot remove that person. Yeah, but that person's obstacles cannot harm to us. For instance, someone using a harsh word, this harsh word cannot disturb our mind. So to arise bodhicitta from our mind is very important. So before become enlightened, of course, after become enlightened, then we don't have obstacles. We will not have any obstacles. Probably we will not hear the name of obstacles and problems. But before become Buddha, then how we should remove our obstacles is generate bodhicitta. So that's where it's very helpful. So you don't want to become bodhisattva to generate bodhicitta. In the other hand, when you generate bodhicitta, at that time you are bodhisattva actually. But perhaps you think, oh, first I should become bodhisattva, great bodhisattva, and then I will generate bodhicitta. This is misunderstood. So you can generate bodhicitta right now. Right now, if you have some facing problems, you generate bodhicitta, and then they all the inner problems disappear. So that's where the bodhicitta has a great quality, and bodhicitta is quality of Buddha nature. No. Then classified in terms of essential characteristics, bodhicitta is twofold: the ultimate bodhicitta and the relative bodhicitta, as the sutta are definitely elucidating the noble intention says. There are two aspects to bodhicitta: ultimate bodhicitta and relative bodhicitta. What then is ultimate bodhicitta? It is emptiness, having compassion as its very essence, in unvacillating state, that is lucidity, free of the extremes of conceptual elaboration. Therefore, the Suttara says of those ultimate bodhicitta is that vivid clarity that transcends the world without any extreme of conceptual elaboration, extremely clear, having the ultimate meaning as its object, unpolluted and unwavering, as still as a flame protect from the breeze. So, ultimate bodhicitta and relative bodhicitta, there are lots of classifications and examples, but they all include it. They all are included. Two is ultimate bodhicitta and relative bodhicitta. So actually here first explain about ultimate bodhicitta, but when we practice, first we should practice relative bodhicitta. So perhaps you are pretty familiar about ultimate bodhicitta and relative bodhicitta. Perhaps you are very new about this, but if you understand clearly, it's wonderful. That's why we try to explain on there. If you don't, still, even you heard about these names, it has a great benefit. I have proof it has great benefit. So what is the proof is maybe you know that Raga Apsi, this Pure Land Sukhavati prayer, who wrote that Sukhavati prayer, yeah? So then Raga Asya, he was very young. He was very young, and then his, so actually Raga Asya, yeah, so then his masters told him, you should memory this your ornament liberation of Gampopa. They told him, you should memorize it. And he memorized it. When he memorized, at that time he did not study, he did not learn because he was very young, but the first step is he memorized. When he memorized, he was memorizing this text, he come to the chapter of karma, cause and effect. He gained the realization of karma, cause and effect. And he committed himself, okay, since from today, I will not engage. I will not cultivate negative karma, and I'm going to cultivate good karma. By himself, commitment. So he promised by himself. He was very young, but at that time he memorized. So through memory, when he was memorizing this text, still he gained the realization of karma, cause and effect. And also it has a great benefit that then Ragaya Asi is actually, after he became very, very, well-known Mahasiddha and scholar in Tibet. It's 400 years ago. It's not so far. 400 years ago. So Ragai Apsi and His Eminence Garchin Rinpoche's before reincarnation, the Gar Tenzin Punso, they are same age. Same age means not this. I mean they how to say same century. They came same century, and Ragai Apsi visited Gar monastery too. So they practiced together. So Ragai Apsi became very well-known Mahasiddha and scholar. So he is not only a scholar of philosophies. He knows very well about these ritual practices. But not only he know about ritual practices, he know all the Vajrayana and the Sutrayana so very well. That's why he wrote hundreds of books. So then he traveled to many monasteries for studying, practicing. Sometimes he Dharma discussed almost a whole night without food, shoes on the foot, his feet. You know, Tibet is hot, cold, especially in the night. But he undertaking hardship on the Dharma very well, and then he came back to his hometown. He went back to his hometown. At that year, there was not rain. There was not rain, so this his hometown is actually farmer, not nomadic, farmer. So they in the summer they have some problems. So that's where at that time Ragai Apsi started to teach this jewel ornament of liberation. Who? To Naga. So Nagas actually invisible right now for our eye, to in front of our eyes we can't see. But this great Mahasiddha, the Ragai Apsi, he saw because Nagas come into the human form. So that's where then they got a very good rain there. So Ragai Apsi, he taught Nagas this jewel ornament of liberation. So that's where jewel ornament liberation is not only for the sake of humans. This teaching is for the sake of all humans and non-humans. So that's where it's 400 years ago. It happened, real happened. It is a very the whole the how to say it's reality, real happened that. So that's where it has a great benefit. If you understand very well, that is of course important. But if you some part if quite difficult, still you listen. As I said, through when you listen Dharma, at the same time there are many human and non-humans listening with you because you created a great opportunity to listen this teaching to them. I don't mean I am a great person. That's where humans and non-humans listen, okay? But you are great, so you created this opportunity. That's where they listen. So Nagas, they like very much this jewel ornament liberation of Gamboba. So generally we think, oh, these teachings are only for attain Buddhahood or become scholars. Or for this temporary benefit, we need to practice different sadhanas, we need to do different things. So this is little slightly misunderstood. So if you well listen carefully, so how much benefit I gave you about Chami Raga Asi. Chami Raga Asi, he directly can go to the Pure Land and he see all these Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. And then he wrote, that's where right now this Sukhavati Pure Land prayer is very, very beneficial. And then, for example, in Tibet, whole Tibetan, there are no Gelugpa, no Kajuba, no Nyingmapa, no Sajapa, and they're not different. They all practice this Sukhavati Pure Land practice, And he, Ragaya Apsi, also he saw Yedam deity, this Amitabha Buddha, there are lots of, however, he is amazing. So then he also, that's where he taught this jewel ornament, liberation of Gambopa, and it has a great benefit. In his life story mentioned about this. And then the ultimate bodhicitta. What is ultimate bodhicitta? Exactly, it says the vivid clarity. So vivid clarity, when you heard vivid clarity, vivid means it's beyond of obscuration. Beyond of obscuration. The obscurations are like a darkness in the darkness, like a darkness. So clarity means then it the dark disappear that darkness. Then which means clarity. So our mind is right now. We said the sunlight is very powerful. We try to look at the sun. It's very difficult to watch the sun because it's very bright or brilliant or something. But then our nature state of mind is more than like that. So that's why it's vividity. And then clarity. So clarity means it's not very harmful, vivid. It's very brilliant. So our nature state of mind is beyond the obscurations, beyond the afflictive emotions. So that's why it's very clear. And transcend the world, transcend the world. So now we say transcend the world, and then without any extreme of conceptual elaboration. So we say good or bad. These things are we say through our conceptuality or perception, our perception. But the real nature state of our mind is beyond words, beyond thoughts. And ultimate meaning is its object unpolluted. So unpolluted means there's no the angry emotion, there's no attachment, even there's no the imprinting of these afflictive emotions. If our mind is naturally afflictive emotions, naturally angry emotions, or the self-cherish, then we cannot purify this. But these self-cherish and this the afflictive emotions are very temporary. It's like ice. So ice in the summer it melts. In the winter it's very very strong, but in the summer it melts. Same like, which means the nature of water is not ice. Ice has nature of water, but ice is not nature of water. Likewise, our mind is Buddha nature, but it is not nature of afflictive emotions. So ultimate bodhicitta is like that. And then it says, unwavering, as still as flame protected from the breeze. So now our mind is very wavering. I think movement, because here we see something. Oh, that here this, and then we have lots of thoughts. Lots of thoughts. Even we are sleeping, we have thoughts, which is dreams. And then when we we will go to the Pardo, we have thoughts, which is Pardo's mind. And then so these thoughts are actually temporary, but we have lots of thoughts. But the natural state of mind is unwavering, which means it's very, very tranquility, peaceful. So we are meditate on shamatha, yeah? So shamatha meditation help us to improve stability. So we easily not follow with the different situations. So that's why this our mind is the natural state of mind is unwavering. So we call it ultimate bodhicitta. So how much benefit? Ultimate bodhicitta and Buddha nature are actually same. And then and what would relative bodhicitta be? Quoting the same sutara, relative bodhicitta is the commitment through compassion to lead all sentient beings out of samsara. Yeah, first we need that. First we need relative bodhicitta, because before we gain the ultimate bodhicitta, we should practice relative bodhicitta. Relative bodhicitta is actually we generate it through one's experience. If we have a healthy body, happy mind, so we like them. So for the sake of a healthy body and happy mind, we do a lot. But we don't do through bodhicitta. We do through attachment and aversion. That's where actually we expect healthy body and happy mind, but sometimes we create unhappy minds by ourselves. So that's why we are going to cultivate bodhicitta. And when we cultivate bodhicitta, then we start to purify self-grasping. There are two kinds of self-graspings. So first we are going to purify self-grasping. Then another grasping is we grasp phenomena. So grasp phenomena is very difficult to purify. But self-grasping is pretty easy to purify. But many problems created by self-grasping. So that's where relative bodhicitta is antidote of self-grasping. So through relative bodhicitta, we work for a healthy body and happy mind. Then it's always create a healthy body and happy mind. So bodhicitta, relative bodhicitta is very important to cultivate for cultivating ultimate bodhicitta. Of the two forms of bodhicitta mentioned above, it is stated in the Ornament of Mahayana Sutara. The ultimate bodhicitta is attained by realization realizing suchness. While relative bodhicitta arises through language in the form of adopting it in a valid ritual. Furthermore, the detailed exposition of the ornament of Mahayana Sutara says, at what stage is their ultimate bodhicitta? From the first grade bodhisattva level, the joyous onward. Okay? So joyous onward. Joyous means first Bhumi's name is joyous. So first Bhumi, to attain Buddhahood, we are going to become Bodhisattva. So when become Bodhisattva, there are different layers of Bodhisattvas. We call it different Bhumis. So practitioners, right now we are meditate shamatha. Sometimes we probably experience that happy, peaceful, and tranquilities. Sometimes we can experience, but the shamatha, then in the future, when we will attain first bhumi, which called joyous. Why do we call joyous? At that time, we arise joys, great joys. So these great joys means even we are engaged some obstacles, they make joys. So 24/7 happy and joy. So but that joy is not like a temporary joys, you know. That joy, the joys or happy are like almost we cannot fathom right now. But they have joy of mind, joy of speech, joy of the body. They always have great happiness. So all of this joyful feeling and happiness comes from bodhicitta. So I said that if you are a practitioner of Vajrayana, for example, you have to gain clarity, joy, bliss, and then non-conceptual. So these three things, among them, bliss. We say bliss. We are going to gain the experience of bliss. Then bodhicitta is method to gain the experience of bliss. So then in terms of categories, relative bodhicitta has two aspects: aspiration bodhicitta and engaged bodhicitta. It's very important. Very important. So the guide to the Bodhisattva way of life says bodhicitta can be summed up as being known through two aspects: the mind aspiring to enlightenment and the mind proceeding to enlightenment. There are many different explanations of the particularities of these two aspects of relative bodhicitta, aspiration and engagement. According to Master Shantideva of the tradition stemming from Arya Manjushri through Master Nagarjuna, aspiration is like a wish to go and comprises in reality all intentions, longing for perfect Buddhahood. Whereas engagement is like the actual going and is in reality the practical application of all that will achieve Buddhahood. Thus, Guide to Bodhisattva way of life says, just as wanting to go and actually going are known to be different, So should these two be respectively distinguished by the wise? Yeah. So aspiration bodhicitta, we can practice both aspiration bodhicitta and engaged bodhicitta. So aspiration bodhicitta is, for example, right before we start the teaching, we practice open prayer book. We practice the open prayer book. So this is the aspiration bodhicitta, okay? So that means aspiration bodhicitta means I'm willing to benefit others. I'm willing to practice for the sake of others. I'm willing to listen Dharma for the sake of others. So these are the aspiration bodhicitta. So we all have that, yeah? And then engaged bodhicitta, which means then we do. So we do means then we listen, and we teach, and we reflect, and we meditate. And after finish these teachings, for example, and when we went out and we will help others, or help others through our speech or through our hands. For example, if you are on the way, if you see some bugs, they have some problems, you bring them and put a very safety places or something like that. Or you recite some mantras through speech, how you can benefit others. You see some flies or birds, you say Om Mani Padme Hum. Then it benefit to them. Then how can benefit others? Through your speech. And then you generate bodhicitta. May you liberate from suffering. May you have happiness. If you generate that, it benefits others and it benefits to you. Yeah. So this is very important in our life. So we say happy mind. There are many methods. There are many methods, but among them, easiest is generate bodhicitta, loving kindness, and then it solve many problems. Even one have some physical problem, mental challenges, or so forth. But you generate bodhicitta, lots of these problems just spontaneously disappear. So it's very important. Important means helpful. Actually, the important, I repeat many times, important, because I know only these adjectives. So I say important. Just kidding. So however, helpful. And we should experience, okay? It's before the experience, frequently we heard bodhicitta. Sometimes we have no feeling. But if we experience little bit, and then we heard bodhicitta, we are happy. Even heard the words of bodhicitta, we are happy. So that's where it's. Then, according to the great Selingpa is Joje Atisha's Bodhisattva teacher. Selingpa of the lineage stemming from Arya material through Master Asanga. Aspiration is to make a promise, committing oneself to the result, thinking for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will attain perfect Buddhahood. Whereas engagement is to make a promise, committing oneself to the cause, thinking, I will train in the 6 perfections as the cause of Buddhahood. In line with this interpretation, the compendium of higher knowledge says, those who develop bodhicitta are of two types, those who are not special and those who are particularly excellent. Of these, those who are not special think, oh, if only I could become totally enlightened, unsurpassable, totally pure, and perfect Buddhahood. Those who are particularly excellent think, may I totally accomplish the perfection of generosity, and so forth. So far, there are discipline, patience, diligence, and so forth, through to the perfection of wisdom. Yeah. Then fourth topic, the focus on bodhicitta. Fourth, the focus of bodhicitta encompasses Buddha, both enlightenment and the welfare of sentient beings. It says of these in Bodhisattva levels. Hence, bodhicitta is something focused on enlightenment and focused on sentient beings. Yeah. So we should focus two ways when we practice bodhicitta. Number one, we focus enlightenment. That means these mother beings, right now these mother sentient beings are in samsara, ocean of suffering. And then we focus another direction, which is enlightenment. So these mother sentient beings should be liberated from the ocean of suffering, and they should become enlightened. So that's where we should help others. We should help them to liberate, or we should help them to free from ocean of suffering. And we lead them into nirvana. Nirvana means we should help them to become enlightened. So, practice bodhicitta means like that. Of these two, bodhicitta focused on enlightenment is that which is focused on striving for Mahayana pristine awareness. In the chapter in the Ornament of Mahayana Sutara concerning bodhicitta development, it says, likewise, that which it is focused on is a pristine awareness. That which is focused on sentient beings does not mean focused on just one, two, or several beings. Space is provided for as far as it stretches by conscious life forms, and they in turn are permeated by karma and affliction. Wherever the latter provides, suffering provides also. Bodhicitta is developed to remove those beings' sufferings. Thus, the prayer of excellent conduct says, whatever may be the limits of space, they are the limits of sentient beings. They are also the limits of karma and the afflictions, and they are the limits of my aspirations as well. So this verse is the king of verse of a king of excellent or king of aspiration conduct. So if you will memorize or you write this verse on the piece of paper and put on the wall, and then frequently you see it, because it is concluded how to practice bodhicitta. So only this verse, you read as whatever may be the limits of space. You read and then you reflect, is it true or not? I mean, is it true or not? You don't want to think. If you think, it's okay, but you think whatever may be the limits of space, there are the limits of sentient beings. So then it's, see, even in small hole, there are how many ants? How many ants in a small hole? You know, if you pick up a small piece of stone like in my hand, under there almost thousands or hundreds of beings. On one tree, there are how many birds? In a small garden, there are how many butterflies? If you feed hummingbirds, for example, with only one content, one bowl, but how many birds come there? And then bees, how many bees on the near of a small piece of food? So that's where there are limits. There are the limits of sentient beings. Yeah. Then you know both. Yeah, you know this both, and there are also the limits of karma and their afflictions. So these beings create karma. Whose karma? Themselves karma. We create ourselves karma. But then there are collective karma. Your karma and my karma are quite same. For example, we are same area. If there are nice weather, we both can experience. So that's where we cultivated very similar karmas. And if there were some natural disasters, both families get problems, that means they cultivated similar karma. So, however, they all could create karmas. And then these karmas, how they create these karmas? They create karma through their afflictions. I mean, if these karmas are negative karmas, then they are related to the afflictive emotions. If they are good karma, they are related bodhicitta. And they are the limits of my aspirations as well. So we have one mouth and one tongue, but we say something. If around of us there are 100 people, they all can hear. Likewise, if we aspirate, we generate bodhicitta to all mother sentient beings, definitely then our aspiration is also limits. How to say limits? It provides everywhere. Limitless. Thank you. So for example, there is a tree. It has thousands of branches and then thousands of fruits. But we don't want to scatter water everywhere, each and every on the leaves of the trees or fruits of the trees. But we do water the root of this tree, and then this water provides everywhere. And then these trees, the leaves, fruits, they all get water. Yeah. Likewise, when we generate bodhicitta, all mother sentient beings, number one, they have a Buddha nature. We have a Buddha nature. That's where we have a special connection. So that's where it can provide everywhere. So then we have the feeling, okay, if we can benefit all mother sentient beings, we can. And they have problems, sufferings. That's why we are going to help them. So we should respect Dharma text. It's very important, but for the sake of practice, so you stay in your bathroom. So this verse you put direct front of this bathroom. You wrote on you write down on a piece of paper and put in front of the toilet seat, yeah. And then when you sit on the toilet seat, and then you read this, and then even your the urines benefit many beings, yeah. So we have many opportunities to benefit others, but eventually all of these beneficials or benefits benefitings come back to us. How much we generate bodhicitta, our happiness increase. If there are material things, we do something, it's exhaust. It will exhaust. But when we generate bodhicitta, then our merit, our bodhicitta will increase, never decrease. Actually, we benefit others, but we help ourselves. So we should help ourselves. This is a favorite words. Oh, we are going to help ourselves. This is favorite words. But then how to help? How to help? We are going to help through bodhicitta and compassion. And then after, this is a real help. Because this helping is a very certain. This helping is very certain means this we can utilize this benefit in this life during the pardo. Pardo, for example, you have bodhicitta. Sooner or later, we all over another location or another what is called in the when we go drive cars through this what is it called, this destination, yeah. Our another destination is pardo. Whether we like it or don't like, no choice. When we sleep, we are sleeping, then we have a dream. Good dream or bad dream is quite hard. If we particularly training on there, we can transform some bad dreams into the bad dreams transform into good dream. Otherwise, we have no freedom. Likewise, pardo, if we are not training well, practice well, pardo we appears many different things. In the pardo appears very strange things. But right now we practice bodhicitta, in the pardo appears yidam deities. What is related our bodhicitta and the pardo appearances of yidam deities, pardo's deities? The relation is, as Lord Jigten Sunggu said, 3 times and 10 directions Buddhas are radiate from bodhicitta. So that's where you radiate bodhicitta, you generate bodhicitta. In the pardo, the strange things transform into the yidam deities. Do you believe? Strange things is like, for example, human body has a snake's head. Human body, snake's head has a tiger's snake's body has a tiger's head, something like that. But this is an example, okay? More strange things. And they have very loud, and they always kill, destroy, something like that. It's very horrible sounds. It's a very, very strange sounds. But you generate bodhicitta, they all appears. Even this channel, actually, I don't know you how much you think is serious, but for example, channel ground, they all transform into Yidam deities, mandala, the power of bodhicitta. So that's why in the Pardo, whatever appears are your Yidam deities. And then they start to protect you, help you. That's why you have no chance to rebirth in the lower realms. And then that next, your destination is Pure Land. And you are ready to sit on the throne of the lotus. And around of you have great bodhisattvas and bodhisattvas. So no suffering. You know? So these, right now what I said are, I have a proof. What is the proof? The proof is, for example, right now, before we go to the Pardo, yeah? Right now we are not in the Pardo. So right now we practice pure perception. Pure perception, we see lots of things are good things. Lots of things are good things. Actually, I just, for make sense, I tell you, but actually I'm not, I don't mean I have a great perception. But for example, the rain, this place, rain is extremely important. Rain. We got rain, it's a great benefit. Everybody see, yeah? Beautiful flowers and greens and so forth. But sometimes they hear dry. So just I thought, last year's the pandemic, during the pandemic, the many people listen the Dharma through online. But weather is not so perfect because weather was not so perfect because did not rain well. But I thought this is also a good thing because many people stuck in the room. They cannot go out to work. They on 24, almost 24/7. They open the Google and so YouTube. And then, if there's no storms, no lightning, no more like this live streaming is going very well. So your listeners, whether you are in different places, when we are here, you are at night there, or doesn't matter, you can listen each and every word clearly. There's no problems. So that's why, in other hand, there some location is something is important, some location something is important. That's why we are going to improve our pure perception like this way, I think. So not always looking negative with something always, oh, this is very bad or something. So that's why we try to cultivate pure perception. Then what we hear, what we see, first we try to pick up positive, good things on there. What is benefit? What is benefit for me? No, not like that. What is it? What has the quality on there? Oh, there we see beautiful flowers. Oh, this flower benefit for what? For whom? Oh, many beings and birds and so forth. You know, so that's where the focus more good qualities. Then, before we become bodhisattvas, after become bodhisattvas, in the both way, we need pure perception. If we have pure perception, it's helpful in our life. And then these outer obstacles cannot challenge. The obstacles is 24/7. They also occurs. They also occur, but they cannot harm to us. Then fifth topic, the cause of bodhicitta. Fifth, concerning the cause for bodhicitta development, the 10 Dharmas Sutara says, even you heard many sutaras. That's where, for sure, sometimes my explanation, perhaps you will bored or something like that. But there are great benefits. At least, okay, he explained about the that, but that is just like that. But he read many sutaras. So if you think and you focus on there, then you listen the sutara. Even you heard the name of sutara, it has a great benefit. Great benefit means it reduces your obstacles and it promote your benefit, merits. This is not my power. This is power of the nature. This is power of Buddha. This is power of Dharmadhatu. This is power of this Gambupa's teachings. Okay. Such a mind will arise on account of 4 causes. Insight into the benefits and qualities of such a mentality. Yeah, this is very important. This, even as I mentioned earlier, if we see qualities, that thing benefits a lot, benefit to us a lot. Yeah, so we see the benefit of water. That's why we drink a lot of water. So we see qualities of water. That's where we get a great benefit from water. We see the many benefit of these plants, trees, fresh airs. That's where they give us benefit. Likewise, if we see the benefit qualities of bodhicitta, then we can get benefit. So it says, before you arise bodhicitta, what do you need? You have to see the quality of such a mentality. Mentality means actually bodhicitta. So you should see the quality of and benefits of bodhicitta. If I generate bodhicitta, how much it benefits to others, even my families, my friends, my relatives, even myself, and then you can generate bodhicitta. And second, faith in the Buddha. What is relation? Faith in Buddha and bodhicitta to arise bodhicitta. So who see the quality of bodhicitta? Buddha saw it. So Buddha, he saw the quality of bodhicitta, and then he generated bodhicitta, and then he started to give us this method, share the quality of bodhicitta. Yeah? So that's why faith means trust, belief. When we trust and believe, and then we can do, because we are not doubt. Or Buddha said that, but I'm not sure, it's maybe, may not, and then we are not easy to practice on bodhicitta. But Buddha said that, definitely Buddha said that, that's why we generate bodhicitta, it has great benefit. Then we can do. That's the second cause is faith in the Buddha. Recognition of the sufferings of sentient beings. See, this is very another important thing. To generate bodhicitta means, we see qualities and benefit of bodhicitta. We can arise bodhicitta, and we faith in Buddha, and then we can generate bodhicitta. Perhaps we think, only these two, we have only these two, then is enough. No. Because we need perfect bodhicitta, strong bodhicitta, very certain bodhicitta. That's certainty of bodhicitta. That's where recognition of the suffering of sentient beings. These beings, since beginningless, they are our parents. Since beginningless time, we are related to them. So we don't know because of the time, distance of time. For example, I don't know great-great-grandparents. I don't know their name. So do I have great-great-grandparents or not? Did I or do I? Yes. Okay, if I had great-great-parents, so my blood and their blood has relation. My great-grandparents and my grandparents and my parents and I have a relation. So they already benefited to my parents, and then my parents benefited to me to have a spiritual life, So we don't know because of a time distance. We don't know, but in the reality, all beings are our mothers. But still you are a little confused on there, then doesn't matter. Here as said, recognition of the suffering of sentient beings, you recognize that, and then you can generate bodhicitta. So, kindness of these mother sentient beings, you can generate bodhicitta. When you generate bodhicitta, you become Buddhahood. Example, Shakyamuni Buddha. 600 years ago, he generated bodhicitta and he became Buddhahood. Since at that time, probably we were same place, perhaps. Perhaps we were another place. However, we did not generate bodhicitta. That's why we are still here. So one great scholar, non-Buddhist scholar, he praised to the Buddha. He said, he was very honest. He said that, Shakyamuni Buddha, when you were there, I was there, and we were equal, same. But you did for the sake of others at that time, and I did for the sake of myself at that time. So now you attain Buddhahood, I'm still in the samsara. So he said that. That's where this bodhicitta means benefit others. Then when we benefit others, we get benefit ourselves. We gained our self-benefit. Then proper encouragement from a Dharma teacher. So there are 4 causes to generate bodhicitta. If you have only one cause, so you can generate bodhicitta, but that bodhicitta has not become stronger. So for instance, the first cause, you see the benefit of bodhicitta, qualities of bodhicitta, and then you can generate, but it's not very strong and clear bodhicitta. And then you add faith in Buddha, trust in Buddha. Then your bodhicitta is like a shooting stars. It goes, increase very fast. And also it's very strong, it becomes stronger and more pure. And then you add the recognition of suffering of these sentient beings, it's more. Because it helps you to, your bodhicitta becomes like a boundless space. Because you think all mother sentient beings. When you think by yourself, I is very narrow-minded. And you think all mother sentient beings, your mind spontaneously provides everywhere. It's like if you have a flashlight, you cover by your hands. That's only remove darkness the palm of your hands. That's all. But you open your hands, this flashlight remove the round of this darkness. Remove the darkness of the round of you. So it's like the same, and your bodhicitta become more and more increases. And then the third, this encouragement from a Dharma teacher. So Dharma teacher, how does it help you? When we practice, there is sometimes we have obstacles. Sometimes one break the vow of bodhicitta, and you can ask again to Dharma teacher, please give me the bodhisattva vow. And then you can ask how to improve. All of this method Buddha taught, they are in the books. Then it exists in the books, all of these methods, but without Dharma teacher, it's not easy. Even we don't know where are these methods, in which book. Yeah, this the Gampopa's Your Ornament of Liberation. It mentioned lots about the bodhicitta, but it's related. Dharma master, which chapter and where is explained. So this, however, is the Buddha in 2600 years ago. Buddha came in this world. At that time, if we were Buddha's disciple, now we become, definitely we already became arhatis. Because very sinful people became arhatis, then why not? We are. But we did not become his disciples, probably. That's why still we are in samsara. And now we have this opportunity, golden opportunity to follow Buddha's path and attain Buddhahood. However, right now we say Buddha is important. Buddha has Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nimanakaya, and 80 minor mark, 32 major mark, something we mentioned lots of qualities. But we are, sooner or later, we can go on his stage. Yeah, so that's where these four causes are very important to generate bodhicitta. Furthermore, Bodhisattva levels says, what are the four causes for that? One, first cause for the arising of the Bodhisattva mind is that of possessing the very best potential. Best potential. Do we have a potential of a bodhisattva, bodhicitta? Yes. So how do we know? How do you know by yourself? You examine by yourself. Examine yourself. When you heard the name of bodhicitta, perhaps you are happy. Wow. Like flowers get water drops. Perhaps you heard should benefit others, you are happy, which means you have bodhisattva potential, bodhicitta potential or bodhisattva potential. Perhaps sometimes you heard in the news some great people benefit help in some location has big problems like food, drink, or other the elements, earthquake or something. When they greatly benefit to them, when you heard about this news, you are rejoice them, these people, great people. If you have like this feeling, then that means you have bodhicitta or bodhisattva potential. The second cause for the arising of the Bodhisattva mind is to be properly supported by the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and the Dharma teachers. This we already explained. Then the third cause for the arising of the Bodhisattva mind is to have compassion for sentient beings. So that's what we said. This morning I mentioned. Compassion is a fundamental of bodhicitta. So that's where you see the suffering of, you see or you know the suffering of sentient beings, and then you generate compassion. So you generate compassion, and then after that you can easily generate bodhicitta. The fourth cause for the arising of the Bodhisattva mind is fearlessness in the face of samsara's suffering and the suffering of undergoing hardships. Even though these may be long, enduring, manifold, difficult to cope with, and without respect. So bodhicitta's quality is that the limitless beings in the samsara. So without bodhicitta, we don't like to help all mother sentient beings. Why? Because one thinks, I can't help these limitless sentient beings. How I'm a one person, so how can I help all these limitless beings, all mother sentient beings? So this perception or thinking arises in the mind, from mind, and then it blocks to benefit others. So that's why there are many ways of benefit, many ways. In the simple way, for example, Buddha Shakyamuni, he taught Dharma in Sanskrit language. At that time, only his disciples, this Indian, his disciples, understand that language. And then, who understood that language, then they got this benefit. But Buddha already know Dharma will flourish in different places. So Tibet and Tibet people, they don't speak Sanskrit. But Tibet has Tibetan language, and the Buddha's disciples in India, they use Pali and Sanskrit, but then whole Dharma flourished in Tibet. But right now, around the world, Dharma flourished. So then many Dharma practitioners get benefit through Dharma practice. In these great masters, disciples, they recognize higher realizations. Many disciples realize higher realizations, and then they also benefit others. Disciples benefit through Dharma. So that's how we can benefit others. This is like a gradually, step by step, how to benefit. But in suddenly how we can benefit is, we mentioned peaceful, harmonious, compassion. It says, if we can benefit others, we do it. If we can't benefit others, we will not harm others. Who said that? So who has this motivation? Dharma practitioners have this motivation. So this world is our home. Our home. So if this home should be peacefully remain, bodhicitta and compassions are very important. I don't mean other practitioners, they don't mention about compassion, bodhicitta. They do, and this is so wonderful. They are included, the Dharma practitioners. They are included bodhisattvas and bodhisattvas. So, yeah, I said they are included Dharma practitioners. It's a little funny, but what I try to say is they are who benefit in this world through the mundane activities or through the these practices. They all included. They are all included bodhisattvas. In the ornament of Mahayana Sutaras, separate causes are mentioned for the generation of the two aspects of bodhicitta, generation of verbally arising bodhicitta on the base of having received it through the perfect ritual, and the generation of ultimate bodhicitta with respect to the first. It says, through the power of support of the cause and of the root of learning and of virtuous habits, it is taught that respectively stable and unstable bodhicitta and bodhicitta taught by others will emerge. There are very important ones. Number one, the through power of support. This is the friends. So, yeah, our best friend, Sangha's best friend is spiritual masters. That's why we say Guru is very important. So, from our lotus of the mind arises faith with mindfulness and attentiveness, and then we can see the beautiful face of Guru. This Guru's face and our Yadam's face are inseparable. And this Guru and Dharmakaya are inseparable. So this our Sangha's best friends is spiritual masters. Our spiritual masters' best friend is our Sanghas. And then our Sangha's best friends are the all Mother Sentient beings. And all Mother Sentient beings' best friend is our Sanghas and spiritual masters. That's where we all should be supported each others. We all help each others. Mother beings helped spiritual masters to promote their bodhicitta. And spiritual masters help all Mother Sentient beings to generate bodhicitta. That's where we all best friends. We always think. And then second, the cause of the root. Okay, root. What is the root? Root means virtue, virtuous. There are 10 virtues. There are 10 virtues. All virtues are included in the 10 virtues. So among the virtues, through body we have 3 virtues. Through speech we have 4 virtues. And through the mind we have 3 virtues. So among them, the very important thing is virtues of mind. But another important thing is we are going to keep virtues of speech. So that's where Buddha's Buddha's mind and Buddha's bodies, we call kayas. The bodies are important, but most important is Buddha's speech. So Buddha's body, in the relative form, relative truth, Buddha's body already transformed into the statues. And then Buddha's mind already provides in the space. But, or in the space of Dharmakaya. But Buddha's speech remains still. So right now we are teaching, our teaching is Buddha's speech. So that's why if we belong, we keep Buddha's speech, then it liberates us. So among our gurus, body, speech, and mind, speech is very important. If you have also teachers the body, speech, and mind, among them, teacher's speech is more important for you. And when your parents give advices to you, among them parents' speeches are very important because they experienced in their life, they experienced different situations, and then they kindly share with you what is a good thing. They tell you do that. What is a bad thing? Don't do like that. So that's where the root of virtue, and then of learning and virtue of habits. Okay, learning. So learning means learning is including listening, reflecting, and meditate. These three things. We have 9 responsibilities when we practice Dharma. For the sake of oneself, listening, reflecting, meditating. For the sake of others, rating and Dharma discussing and teachings. And for the both benefit, practice. And practice it experientially. So this is how we this is our responsibility. And then end of virtues, habits. Actually, habits. We often say meditation. What is meditation? Meditation means we frequently say meditation. So we think meditation means close eyes and then sit. Yeah, this is how we are learning actually. How we learning meditation. The real meditation means we should do in 24/7. So if we do that, this is then our real meditation. We cultivate virtues through mindfulness and attentiveness. Then this is how we become like a candlelight to remove obscurations of darkness. So candlelight, first this candlelight needs stability. This is mindfulness. Second, this candlelight needs light, power of light. This is attentiveness. We call wisdom. So if we do like that in the morning, afternoon, evening, it's repeat. Then we become there are no more take time to attain Buddhahood. So otherwise, during the practice, this time I do like that, and during this time I am not practitioner. If we become like that, then it's a little difficult. For example, scholars, if you are a Dharma scholar, you learned from the monasteries, universities of Dharma, you learned very well, and you became scholar, and then come into the society, and you don't share, you don't practice, perhaps you will forget the Dharma. So, of course, you already did great job. It has great benefit, but it's difficult. It's same way if you do retreat. For example, you do 3-year retreat. At that time, you do 6 yoga of Naropa perfectly. It's wonderful. After that, you come to the society, human society. You don't training practice on there. You nothing to do. It's years gone, months gone. Eventually, you forgot it. Then eventually, you try to do that. You can't do it by even yourself. So that's where it do is continuously. I give you a very good example. His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche, he said that to keep this body like a straight when we sit. And then it's Lord Jigten Sungku said, among the yogas, keep straight, like this position, it's very important. And also he said, many scholars says, only Vajrayana has channel practice, yoga practice. But Sutarayana has no yoga practice. But Lord Jigten Sungku, no, that's not true. Buddha said in the Sutarayana, especially Vinaya has a great yoga practice. What is that? Sit straight. Which means Buddha already said, if you're straight your body, straight your channels. Straight your channels, straight your mind. Straight your mind become clear. So, His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche, since he was Tibet, he sit like this. Even during the puja, of course, during the teaching, of course, during the meditation, of course, but during the eating, maybe it's maybe you can't see. It's very rare to see he against on his back on the wall. But I don't really know. Some has some physical situations, and without this kind of concentration, it's allow. Okay, I don't make complicated for you. But now I'm mentioned about the habits, habituation or habits, familiar. So meditation is the physically doing the first is very difficult. When I was in Tibet, I was very, very small kid. Then we did puja. There's one guru, another guru. He passed away years ago. I sit like this. It's very difficult because the two knees were so hurt, and there was discipliner. It's so hard that I'm scared, discipliner, but that I need to change my legs, but it's so hard. Then even the best method is sit like this. And then another guru, he told me, Garmanaster guru, he told me, you sit up like this, otherwise we can't see you on the what is called in the rocks. Rose, so we can't see you. He told me like that, but it's very difficult to see like that. But after this, Lord Jigten Sungku said the benefit of these qualities in the Gongje Buddha single attention, and then His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche, they frequently gave better instructions. They are all very unique and special. And then training. Now, if try to lie honestly on the eating or some generally we can't do as Rinpoche did, but during the puja and something, sometimes lie on the wall, then start to get tired. So it's like same, but there's a special way. When you sit like this, don't hold very strongly, okay? Then this is not good. As Lord Jigten Songgo said, Lumen Zimba Lukparan Joba, Lukpar means loosely. Loosely means very naturally. Naturally. But if you were, you have to adjust your gestures, and if you have to against wall and chair, or please feel free, okay? Feel free. Now I don't make you complicated. It's time's almost up, is it? 10 minutes. Wow. Okay. Where did I start? Okay, we stop there. And thank you so much. May you have a wonderful bodhicitta, and may you have a happy long life. Thank you so much, and let us dedicate together. Chanchu Senjo Rinpoche Ma Je Ba Na Je Jer Je Je Ba Nyam Ba Me Ba Ya Go Ne Gong De Be Wa Jo.
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you so much. Thank you.